Coming at you live from the Copple Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's NFL game night in Washington, D.C. I'm a little pumped, a little excited. I love the fact that we're in season, and of course it is Oklahoma week. The appropriate and proper way to say that is it's beat Oklahoma week. But I'm trying to get why this fan base that is usually so positive and so pro Huskers really has been quiet about, hey, we can't. The overriding feeling that and the vibe and the thing that's been said most to me publicly is that this Husker team can't win in Oklahoma. They can't win in Norman. As a matter of fact, most people have a fear that it's going to be a bloodbath. That's the word that's been used about it, bloodbath. Expecting awful things, and I don't understand it because, again, this is the University of Nebraska, and they are just Oklahoma. You know, this is not Alabama. This is not Clemson. This is Oklahoma. I mean, you know, Oklahoma will give you one. I mean, they've proven that. But you guys do what you do. We will have that conversation throughout the course of this hour. 464-5685, an opportunity for you to call in, text in with your questions for me. I will answer any and all questions today for 20 minutes. I'll give you an honest, simple answer. I know. Gasoline, meet fire. I'm giving you the opportunity. I had several listeners come to me last night at Tanner's and say, DP, I have questions for you, but I'm afraid you won't answer them. No. I'm a truth teller. You can give, folks don't have to like the answer. You don't have to like the answer to my truth. But I'll give it to you. And it can be positive. Like that's the part for me. Somebody said, you're going to take questions today? And I'm like, yeah. I fully expect that Husker Nation will stand up and represent. That's how simple that was. It wasn't complicated at all. 464-5685. That's the Starter Heyman text line. Again, the Honda and Lincoln hotline. You can call in if you have questions. And I'll just do it for this first segment. That's all I'm saying to you. Don't expect it in the later segments because we're going to go through some of the sound bites from the Huskers, and we'll go through some of the things that were in play earlier this week. I went through, again, I'm 7 hours into Husker Oklahoma film. I'm 7 hours into Oklahoma film. And a couple of things are in play. There are a couple of things that have been loud. Okay? Just a few things. Let's go up and down. I've got like 6 pages of notes. That's how crazy this has been. But we'll go through it. We'll go through because that's the kind of dude I am. All right. Here's what jumps off at the page of me initially. Depth. Oklahoma is 3 and 4 deep at every position. The only position I don't know what their depth is quarterback. But all the other positions, they're loaded. Loaded. And they have minutes. They've got high play count, which tells me that not only are they talented, they're also well coached. You have coaches that don't have a fear of putting them in the game. Now, mind you, it's Tulane and Western Carolina, as it should be. But the results are still the same. If Nebraska scored 69 points in the game, we would say Nebraska found some offensive answers. Again, well, thank you, folks, for chiming in and settling in on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube on the video stream. Starter Heyman once again stepping up for us. I noticed a couple of things in Oklahoma's play calling. Short game, quick game, short game, quick game, short game, quick game, long. Are you patient enough defensively to stick to what you do? Are you going to force them to be perfect in 9 plays? Or are you going to slip and let them get to the end zone in 3? They plan for you to not to be as patient as they are. Why? Because they are more talented than you are. Oklahoma thinks they can line up. They don't give you a whole lot of formations. They don't have to. They don't need a magic trick. They will simply show you how quick and how fast they are. At each position, they are well coached. The only thing that they're undisciplined in, well, there are a couple of things, but specifically and particularly, their offensive line is the most grabbiest, chest-to-chest nonsense I've ever seen. Now, they're big, they're long, they're athletic. But every now and then, they get grabby. They get grabby. And in blowout games, they don't throw flags for grabby. But in games that are competitive and games that matter and games that are being graded by national TV audiences and national TV referees, they call them differently. Their receivers can be pushed off their routes. They can be rerouted. But that requires that you get handsy. That requires that you get physical, and that requires that you take away some of their short game, some of their short, quick game. One of the great factors in Oklahoma's offense on 80% of their plays is this. They trust that you are going to fear their speed enough to give them room in front because you're afraid they're going to run by you and get to the house. They trust that on 4 out of every plays, you are going to give those receivers room. And it's one thing to give receivers room, but when you give a quality quarterback time to find those receivers and pick and choose, it becomes ugly. As Jay Foreman likes to say, death by a thousand paper cuts. Then the question is, which way are you willing to compete? Are you going to make them go through 5 series of 45 plays that they just nickel and dime your way down the field and you're hoping they make a mistake? Are you going to challenge them with those 2 super senior safeties and hope that they can correct mistakes? Or are you going to ask them to fill the lanes to cover for backers who don't fit? Simple. You guys are funny. Okay, here we go. Like we just got a text dump. Wasn't that weird? We just got a text dump. That's hilarious. Okay. I'll start at the top and work my way down. This is fantastic because this is like a dump. We got like 10 texts at the same time. Here we go. Brian asked, people are finally accepting that we aren't very good. We've had high hopes for 3-4 years, but don't see enough improvement to overcome the number 3 ranked team in the country. Brian, it's fair to say that we think they aren't very good. But how absolute is that if they go to Norman and show up? Because if that happens on Monday, the conversation is they were better than we thought. So if it's not absolute, it's just an opinion. Rico, do you love me? Absolutely. With all my heart. Jason, Oklahoma is very beatable. Hopefully all the doubters fuel for our fire. Jason, it would be less ridiculous than you think for Nebraska to beat Oklahoma.
I want to put this in there also is what does that say about the expectation of your program if you expect to go down there and get rolled?
Yeah, that's not really a thinking that I understand.
I understand there's a thought of Nebraska's the underdog here. You can still have that mentality and be real and realistic on your expectation of what's going to happen. But if you're inside the program and you're one of the guys lining up, the expectation that you should have in your locker room is you're going to compete.
There are several assumptions in that. So I'll explain that most of the athletes in that room don't know what Oklahoma speed looks like.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what that, like lining up against somebody that's bigger than you, stronger than you, faster than you. They don't know. Sometimes they do. They faced Ohio State. You had them a couple of times. But the reality is the Ohio State speed and the Oklahoma speed are still different. It's a very different game. And Oklahoma attacks you differently than Ohio State does. Ohio State is a schematic masterpiece. Like they run, their schemes are set to put people in place so that plays are made more easily. Where they struggle is when people match scheme for scheme with them. Oklahoma's trouble is just simply that when teams face them and are actually patient. Patience is a virtue against Oklahoma. Tulane figured that out. And Tulane said, well, you know what? I'm going to make you beat us rather than be afraid that you beat us. I don't understand. I've never gone into a game as a coach, and there were times when I was overmatched. Mm-hmm. There were times when I was facing a better coach. There were times when I was facing better talent. But I always felt like I had something in my bag that would give my team a chance to win. And my team agreed. Because before we left the field, before the last practice, we've worked on everything we need for that game. And then we simply say, does everybody understand now what we need to do? And the answer is always yes on the last day. And then you get out there, and then it's that thing, Mike Tyson thing, where you get punched in the jaw. Are you still willing to stand and stay true to your commitment to execution? When they're bigger, faster, stronger, and lean on you, are you still willing to stay in your lane? And that's a question about this Nebraska team. I think the players believe that they're going to win. Mm-hmm. Like to a man, I think they feel pretty good about the things that they can do to beat Oklahoma. What they're not sure about is, are they going to be allowed to do so? Are they going to be put in position to do so?
And right there, I was going to go back to what you said about on Friday or whatever the last day of practice is before you head down there. You should have everything that you worked on. You should have worked on, right? Mm-hmm. And if this coaching staff, more specifically Scott Frost, can't look in the mirror and say, "Yeah, we're as ready as we could be," then that's a bigger question.
And I'm a little like I coach speak is weird to me. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of an indirect, indecisive way to get through reporters and dealing with media. I want coaching arrogance in that I've done the work, not in that I don't want to answer you, but in I've done the work. And there's a difference. There's a difference between the arrogance that says, no, we've covered everything we can cover. Now I just need to ask 85, 19, 20, and 21-year-olds to be consistent. It's not the easiest thing to do. Not having a plan worries me. So that's where that is. Nyla has to go, am I one of your favorite people? Yes. You are a massive source of entertainment. You really are. I can always count on Nyla to give me something good here on the text line. A man named Ashley says, how does Nebraska beat OU this weekend? What are the keys? Okay, so I'm going to go through this with you as simple as we can. As again, the great military quote is, wars are won on the ground. Great wars are really won on the ground. If Nebraska finds that magic thing that they think they have in this offensive line, like the reason why they picked those 8 linemen as their guys, and then they're able to match those players with their play calling. See, there's zero chance that Nebraska's 5 linemen can't get wins against Oklahoma's 3. The issue is the magic behind Oklahoma's linebacker responsibilities and their fits. Now, what we saw on film against Tulane is they like making plays rather than making the play. There is a difference. There are guys who will forget scheme and responsibility and think, well, I'm fast enough to run this down from a different hole, so I'm going to do that. Oklahoma does that a lot, and nobody's made – well, Tulane made them pay a bit. And think about it this way. Tulane was a shoestring tackle away from having first down in a 1-score game under a minute left.
And 3 fumbles.
Right? That's also the other thing. That the turnovers, Nebraska, look, they haven't done it, but you cannot give Oklahoma. Look, Tulane turned it over 3 times and was still in the game. I don't want to go into Saturday's game thinking it has to be perfect, but it would help. It would help. Here's the thing. This offense needs to take risk in order to get reward. But I don't want them to be where they live. Unfortunately, what is required is that Adrian Martinez has the day with his feet that we will talk about 5 years from now, 10 years from now. That's what's required, is Adrian Martinez making linebackers and safeties pay for not doing their jobs. And with just to understand what it is, and Adrian taking Oklahoma's passing game preference of quick game, speed game, and using it against him. Because that's what Tulane did. Tulane, short game. Look, they had a quarterback that went 27 for 44 for almost 300 yards and 2 scores. And Nebraska's passing game skill position guys are better than Tulane's. Man for man, they're better than Tulane's. Adrian Martinez is better than Platt from Tulane. He's better. Better with his feet, better arm. Oklahoma's not perfect. Don't go into this thing thinking Oklahoma's perfect. They are not. They're deep and talented. Yes, they're fast as can be. But are they perfect? No. Because you know who knows that they're not perfect? Oklahoma. Why? Because they have film against Clemson and Alabama. They got film against them already. Look, they walk into they're Notre Dame-ish. That when they walk into that elite space, their flaws are so gaping and so wide that great teams take advantage of them. And they don't do it in an exceptional way. We're not always talking about 70-yard passes. We're talking about can Adrian fit and move the chain 6 times in the game on 3rd down? Can Adrian stay out of 3rd and 9? Can Stepp and Gabe Ervin give them 4 yards a carry? And I don't mean 4 every time. I mean an average of 4. Because if they do that, then Adrian's going to be plus 6 yards a carry. Why? Because accountability. They're just not going to account. Now, mind you, Oklahoma's linebackers are quick. The safeties, every now and then, they'll cheat and peek and come downhill. But against Tulane, when they came downhill, that zone read became a pass run option, and they took them to the house. I'll go back to it. If Nebraska wins this game somehow, will it give us the confidence to potentially make the Big Ten championship game? How you respond to success matters. This team hasn't had success, and they could be a team that responds to success very well. We just haven't had enough success to know. I kind of like the idea of Adrian Martinez as a front runner.
That is a very interesting way to look at it also is let's say Nebraska does go down and shock the world this weekend. How confident are we in Nebraska going against Michigan State the following week? Nobody knows. There's no way to analyze it because we haven't seen it.
No matter what happens Saturday, we're going to go week to week with this team.
Absolutely.
They're like, you're never going to forecast forward with this team. That's just not how it works. And remember, we still haven't seen this team with the 2 weapons that we thought were going to be most important in Austin Allen, Vokalek on the field at the same time. Because that's a game changer, because Oklahoma does not have a matchup for Vokalek and Austin Allen and the inside zone read together. They don't have an answer for it. I'm just telling you, they don't have an answer for it. This is quick pitch and catch. Adrian, play action, pull up, big tight end sitting behind a linebacker that took 2 steps on the play action. You throw behind him, we move the chains.
I think it's going to be even more important this game, even more important than it is every game, to get Adrian in a rhythm early with quick plays, with plays that he can make, he feels comfortable in the pocket, and that also relies on our offensive line doing a job to an extent.
Big tight end. I'm just telling you that great quarterbacks with big tight ends, the easiest way to turn a defense on his side is tight ends 3 steps beyond where they line up facing a quarterback. It's a problem. Because those 2 linebackers, guess what? If they have to account for Vokalek and Austin, guess what they can't account for? Marquise Stafford, Gabe Irvin. You know who else they can't account for?
Samori Toure.
Toure coming here behind on the slant. You know who else they can't account for? Adrian Martinez putting his foot in the ground and running exactly at that spot. Again, pay attention to the backs of the jerseys of the outside linebackers. Tell you everything about watching the game. And then watch the win. Look, if Cam Jurgens is getting wins, if Cam Jurgens is plus 1 on the day, this team will be successful. If he's plus 5 or 6, hey, man, we're in business now.
Well, Cam Jurgens, the interior spot or part of our offensive line will be going up against Oklahoma's best defensive line guy.
I do not,
Winfrey.
But see, here's the thing. I'm a member of the school that says I attack that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I'm a Washington dude. We would face Randy White, and that was how we beat Dallas because we knew, you know what? We just going to occupy you, dude. We're not going to let you be great. You're not going to be great ruining 5 linemen's work. I'm going to give you 1 dude, and then I'm going to ask you to make a play on top of that. I'm going to take my best lineman against your guy. Look, if we win half those battles, you got yourself a ball game. Let's see. Where were we? If Nebraska – let's see. No, here we go. Do you think Nebraska basketball missing out on Jason Green is a big miss for them? They're all big misses if there's somebody you would have. But what does Jason Green offer that's not on the roster and not returning for at least 2 more years? Is he better than Lat Mayen right now? No. Is he better? Did he project better than Wilhelm Bradenbach? No, he didn't.
Not to this point.
No, he didn't. And it's a different for what Nebraska needs.
Yeah.
Look, Green's a stat filler. Like he's a stat sheet filler. I'd like him on my team. I'd like him on Nebraska, but I don't look at the women in the bar and worry about the ones that aren't interested in me.
Well, and I think the reason, and we don't need to go down the rabbit hole like we always do when a guy from Nebraska does not come to Nebraska. I think that part is part of the sting.
He did he did.
I understand that though, but
you're not entitled to everybody from Nebraska.
I understand that. I'm not in that.
You're not. That's not the history of this thing.
Yeah,
they're not. Like, get over it. Get over it. Not everybody here wants to play here. The situation might be better if you're a guy. Look, be mad all you want. That's the reality, right?
Yeah.
That not everybody from here thinks that this is the best option for them, and that's fine. I wish Jason Green well. Good young man.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of things right on the basketball floor. Go do your thing. I can't root for him when they play the Huskers, but other than that, like, I don't take it that deep. I don't take recruiting personally. These are teenagers that are making decisions. I'm not really mad at it. Let's get to my dude. Wet Blanket said, let me help you understand the pessimism. The general recipe for upsets in football involve controlling the clock to shorten the game, force turnovers, make big plays, often on special teams, and having a game plan that confuses the favorite for a period of time. Nebraska can't run the ball reliably to control the clock, lacks the pass rush to make Rattler force the ball, has muffed a punt and a kick in each of their 3 games. Frost is frequently outcoached on game day, and the most reliable thing about his tenure is poor absent halftime adjustments. Okay, so I'll say this to all of that. To think that a Power 5 team can't do the things that are required isn't a statement of truth. They haven't. But what generally happens is, over the course of a tenure in a program, that the balance evens out. For all the number of consistent bad games, the way averages work is that they throw themselves into the opposite space. If it's going to turn. Now, if bad is bad, and if this program is bad, then they'll stay consistent to that. But if they aren't, and again, we're week to week in figuring out whether they are or aren't. Like, we don't know this collection of Husker offensive and defense. We don't know them. We haven't seen them in full. Like, we haven't seen this team with Casey Rogers yet, so we don't know. Like, we're missing it. Like, we haven't seen it with Travis Vokolek. We haven't seen it. Oliver Martin's missed 2 games. And there's a whole – but if it comes together in a way where can Nebraska run the ball control the clock, I would imagine that hat for hat being +1 all the time because of Adrian Martinez, they could. But Adrian Martinez has to be a part of it because he's the X factor and he is the one player offensively that they cannot account for and run their defense the way they do. Pass rush, the best way for them to flip the pass rush is press coverage. Not allowing, don't get in a comfortable zone and start. You got to mix it up and have Rattler guess whether you're in zone or press. Because if he doesn't know how much time he has, he becomes a less efficient passer. And I'm talking about pressing at the line of scrimmage so that, you know what, Rattler can't catch the snap in a shotgun and make a throw without thinking about it. Muff punts and missed kicks, at some point that has to turn, doesn't it? Just from numbers alone, that has to turn. And then Frost being outcoached, well, here's the thing. The thing that corrects really bad coaches is simplicity. Simplicity. Do less better. Stop asking your players to do more when they aren't capable. Stop looking in your back pocket for a magical, wonderful new way of winning. Simply play football. Do the things that you're supposed to do. We'll throw it a break. I'll get to the rest of the questions, and you can line them all up. Again, today was your day to go one-on-one. I'm DP.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In football, Lincoln Pius was able to secure their first win of the season over Lincoln High. The Thunderbolts won the game 28-21 in double overtime. In other matchups this last week, Lincoln Northeast took care of business, beating Omaha Northwest 48-7. Lincoln Southeast won over Grant Island 17-7. Lincoln Southwest beat Omaha North 20-17. Elkhorn just got past Waverly with a final score of 14-3, and Lincoln Christian fell to Fort Calhoun 28-13. Moving to softball, on Monday, Lincoln Southwest continued their hot stretch, taking down their Class A rival Lincoln Southeast in both games, 11-3 in the first and 7-1 in the second. In Class A volleyball, Lincoln Southwest has moved up to 3 in the power rankings after beating Omaha Westside. The record now sits at 5-0. In Class B, Norris won over Elkhorn South. They currently sit with a record of 10-0. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Welcome to Friendly Neighbors. Welcome to maintenance-free living. Welcome to Carriage Glen. Welcome home. It's everything you'd want in an active 55-plus rental community right here in Lincoln. Spacious floor plans, numerous amenities, beautiful surroundings near Holmes Lake, and much more. Plus, with Carriage Glen's current move-in special, you can save thousands if you act now. Carriage Glen invites you to take a personal tour or visit them online at carriageglenoflincoln.com. Discover the place you'll love to call home.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
A very summer-like day on the way. We'll see hot, windy conditions. South winds could gust over 25. We'll reach up to a high of 90 this afternoon. Heading into tonight, a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms late, a low down to 67. Continued chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, much cooler, with a high of 74. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You could close out 2021 winning $2,022 and go on to win $1 million at the beginning of 2022 in the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball's Rockin' 15 promotion. Until September 25th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter for a chance to be one of 15 lucky people to win $2,022 and a chance to win $1 million at the start of the new year. It's a promotion that truly rocks. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
We're gonna eat pizza from Casey's and watch the football games. Yeah, enjoy the season with delicious Casey's pizza. 2 tasty pizzas for big game days.
Now at Casey's, you can get 2 large single-topping pizzas with delicious made-from-scratch dough for $9.99 each with promo code DOUBLE.
Casey's here for good. Yeah.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Want to get a hot and perfect body fast? It's so easy. All you have to do is eat lots of bananas, but peels only, and always be sweating, but never look sweaty. That's disgusting.
Don't follow extreme routines. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness. Now through September 16th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get back to a real routine with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join today for $1 down, $10 a month, and cancel anytime. Hurry, till ends September 16th. See club for details.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
What would you do if Nebraska takes the lead in the fourth quarter because Cam Taylor-Britt returns a punt for a touchdown?
That is hard. I might have some big heart palpitations.
Think about it in the context of the game of the century.
Yeah.
Johnny Rao. What kind of storyline would that be? Cam Taylor-Britt pushes Nebraska ahead. I'd write about it after Baz and Parker resuscitated.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
They will go 1-on-1 with the great one.
Let's bring it back 1-on-1 on a Thursday, Beat Oklahoma week. I have invited you folks in. I will go 1-on-1 with you, ask your questions via text or via the Honda Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line, and I'll get to them here before we get into the show. Here's there. The expectation of your program was to beat Illinois. It will be over by halftime. I hope I'm wrong. Again, look, listen, I'm not saying I don't understand why people think this is going to be a bloodbath or a beatdown. Especially individuals. I mean, there are people who just waved the flag and said, look, I'm done believing in this thing. It's heartbreak. But en masse, that's not Husker Nation that I know of. That's all I'm saying with that. Biggest worry is no pass rush and just playing for them to march down the field. On zero worth of the injuries, putting too much on Adrian. He has to do everything behind a bad O-line. This is the game that Adrian came to Nebraska. This is why you want to be a quarterback at Nebraska, so that you can put the team on your back. Think of every great Nebraska Husker quarterback. There was a game that was required where they put the team on their back. They put Husker Nation on their back, and they made a play. They broke so many tackles that they couldn't think of. They went on a quarterback flare route and caught a pass and took it down the sideline. They came off the bench to make plays. They outfought a guy that was an All-American. That's what Nebraska quarterbacks is all about. So, look, I think he wants the burden and the weight, especially for this game. Brian says, happy beat the Sooners Thursday, planning on being very happy on Sunday, Monday. I'd love that. I love that for him. Love that for all of y'all. Lemon says, are they going to shoot themselves in the foot 10 times? If they do, the sad part about that is it wouldn't be surprising to anybody. That's the sad part, is that the expectation of the fan base has been lowered. The standard has been lowered. Saturday is an opportunity for the program to get right and to get elevated and recalibrated. It's also an opportunity on national TV to show that you are just not that program. Right? Ben asks, has Scott Frost stuck to a game plan once in his Nebraska career? I'm never sure what the game plan is. That's the part that and that's fine because he's not sharing that, and nor should he, right? You shouldn't have to. But to know what the personality of the team is, like if he came out and said, listen, I'm just going to live and die with applying pressure to Rattler, or we're going to be patient, or I'm going to trust my best players, or I've made adjustments, or I know what they're going to do, so then I just need to adapt. Those things can be heard, can be said, should be said. Not sure that they will be. Travis from Lincoln, answer 2 questions for me. If OU doesn't have a running game, according to Tom and Bach earlier, would any of our running backs start at OU? If not, what does that say about our running game? And number 2, if Oklahoma doesn't have a good offensive line, again, according to Tom and Bach earlier, is OU's better than Nebraska's? Again, what does that say about ours? Would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, Travis, here we go. OU has a running game. It's not their focus or priority, but they're going to peep this. Their mission, they actually know their game plan. Their game plan is to be run and pass balanced. They will RPO Nebraska until Nebraska either 1 shows that we're going to constantly react the same way, or 2, that Nebraska shows that they cannot handle the RPO, because the RPO will allow them, their best playmakers, to make decisions where it's them against one Husker in space. That's the whole beauty of RPO. But it's also the beauty of why Nebraska could have that same sort of offensive success. If Nebraska uses the RPO off the zone read game, they have an opportunity. It's a nightmare to defend. It's an absolute nightmare. You asked number 2, if Oklahoma wait a minute. So would any of our running backs start at OU? Marquise Stepp would have been recruited by Oklahoma, and I'm almost sure that Gabe Ervin had an offer from OU. So that's, tomato. It's what they did when they got there. It's what they're doing with them when they got there. Husker 52. I think most Nebraska people feel like we're going to get massacred because they're losing confidence in the coaching staff most every game, and we have a big loss. Have been poorly coached. It's hard to buy at this point. Yeah, I get the frustration individually, because individual people emote their fanaticism differently, but en masse, that when the massive narrative is that we don't trust it, that would be concerning to me. If I'm in the program, that would be concerning to me, because that says you're not, you have a disconnect between you, what you're trying to do, and the mission. Like, the fans don't know the mission, they haven't bought into it, and that's a little bit problematic for me. Anthony says, sadly, my concern is less our players versus their players and more our coaches schematically getting something going. There's getting something going. Why? Because they've never shown they can. I would hope that the Husker coaching staff has the day that it deserves. And by that, I mean, if they've done the work, if you've done the work during the week, you have answers for if this, then that. Right? But all of that requires that the players make plays. Like, Greg Austin can have a great week in film. He can have a great week in individuals. He can have a great week in group. He can have a great week in team. And then they get out there on Saturday and their socks become yellow, and he can do nothing about it other than pulling another player from that and hoping that they don't. That's what this is. These are 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old young men. There are going to be days where they are better than not. I would hope that Saturday, this offensive line has the day that Greg Allen and they deserve. I hope that the receivers show out. I hope defensive line, look, you can trust the process. That's why coaches say it. Are they putting in the work, and then are they getting the results? They haven't gotten the results yet, and I hope that they are putting in the work. I don't know that because I'm not allowed to see it. Wet Blanket says, I want to be the first one to say this. When Frost gets nervous, he calls quarterback runs. If he runs Martinez 18 times and Norman, Logan Smothers will finish the game. I don't wish that on any player. And so I'm never one to say that. But the reality in my head is that I'm not sure they can win if Adrian doesn't carry 18 times. And I think, I don't have the hope. I'm not willing to verbalize somebody's injury at the side of this. That's not what I want or what I need. But I also feel like, I get your point that Adrian taking 18 hits plus pressures. Nobody wants that, but that's football. That's football. And if it's purposeful in the 18, right? It's not just 6 run options and then 12 scrambles. The 12 scrambles should put less wear and tear on him because there's more space, just because they've run defenders out of his space. Zone read, those people are still there in the space and they're ready to commit, and they can get shoulder pad to shoulder pad with him. But I think 18 carries creates some problems for Oklahoma defensively. It'll make them rotate their players. It'll provide a little juice for the Huskers. I'm okay with the number of carries. I don't want him taking 25 hits, direct hits. Scramble, slide, I'm not worried about that. Biggest concern, limits his biggest concern is the offensive line. If the line holds up, we can definitely keep it interesting. Yeah, I mean, the reality is this. Adrian Martinez will do as well as the offensive line allows. The running backs will do as well as the offensive line allows. That's a simple truth. This is not rocket science. We're not talking about an unknown here. Like, we understand. Have you seen play action pass to tight end down the field anywhere on film? Yes, I saw it there. I didn't quite understand the concept and where on the field it was. Stretch seam tight ends in the red zone didn't work as much for me. I didn't get all warm and fuzzy. If that's done from Nebraska's 30-yard line, it's a different result and different responsibility. So the question is, will our tight ends play? The whispers that I got is that both Vokalek and Austin Allen should play. Don't know. I would almost, say hold your breath and wait until the first kickoff, and then you'll know. Corey says, sounds like Nebraska lost interest in Jason Green. Again, I'll ask, look, can he play for Nebraska? Yes. Would he be a great fit at Nebraska? Yes. But each party is working from their greater benefit. And there is some benefit to Jason Green playing at Creighton. Just as there would have been some benefit for him playing at Nebraska, they are just different. They're allowed to go look at each other and go, you're good, I'm good. We'd be good together, but we're going to choose to do something else. That happens. That's the nature of recruiting. Is it acceptable to believe in Scott Frost, but not any of the rest of his coaches? Absolutely. You have full permission to do so. But ultimately, the responsibility falls on Scott Frost. And that's not poking at Scott Frost. Scott Frost will tell you he's responsible for Greg Austin. He's responsible for Matt Lubick. He's responsible. That's just the way it works. All right? That's just the way it works. At what point do the injuries become not just bad luck, but issues with the strength and training program? Every program has injuries. Every single program. This is a violent game. This is how this works. And the athletes are bigger, stronger, faster. They're asked to make split-second decisions with anywhere from 250 to 330 pounds of mass. Not the easiest thing to do. That's why they have pads and shells and wraps to support, because you're asking the body to do things that aren't natural for the body and things that, quite frankly, are hurtful to the body. That's why there is a recovery time required just to play the basic game of football. That's why they have those folks there. Web Blanket says, I stand corrected. I do not know what you in Nebraska can do and can't do. I know what they have and have not done. I will continue to base NU opinions on that. I get all that. I absolutely do. And I mean, that's why I love having the conversation with you. I get that what they were, but do we know what the Huskers who will take the field Saturday in Norman, do we know what they look like? Remember, I keep saying that Nebraska doesn't know. Oklahoma can't know Nebraska's identity because Nebraska doesn't know. Nebraska won't know its identity until Saturday kickoff. Why? Because for the first time in history, you're going to line up with Austin Allen, Travis Vokolek, Marquis Stepp, Adrian Martinez, and Samori Toure, and whatever collection and assortment of line that they have. We don't know what that is going to be. I don't know. And ultimately, no matter what Scott Frost calls, those guys have to make the plays, and they have to make decisions, and they have to make them on the fly. So that's the beauty of sports, is for all of the tendencies and all of the history, that's why they play the games, because the humans are involved. And what we know about ourselves is that we are not consistent. Somebody asked me, can you look in the mirror honestly and believe we have a chance? If I was in that locker room and at practice all week, I'd feel really good about it. But that's the nature. That's the nature. And I believe they do as well. I believe they do as well. Everything that's being said that needs to be fixed now is the same that has been said for the past 2 years. Why should we believe the staff will be able to get it done? I'm not asking you to believe a thing that hasn't been done. I firmly say stop giving people credit for things they haven't done. That's fine. I'm also saying that the beauty of sports is that you have an opportunity each week to get it right. Saturday is another chance for them to get it right. And as fans and supporters, you root for them to improve. Like, that's the whole nature of Husker Nation, is we want teams that look like they're well coached and look like they're prepared and look like they play with heart and all those things. And each week they get an opportunity. That's loyalty. That's where that comes from, is that, you know what, we keep rooting for the fact that maybe these young men that represent us and wear the colors are going to have a great day. And as my college coach would say, it's a great day to have a great day. That's what you're hoping for. Yeah, the reality is the program's leader is 15 and 21 or 14 and 21. Okay. Now they have a chance to get it right and get better Saturday. Let's see here. We've been getting killed this year on the little hitch routes and quick outs or 10-yard outs and hits. The best way to stop that is to press and make them work and get them out of rhythm. Are we afraid that to get beat deep, we can't move up and challenge opposing wideouts? I don't get it. Kelsey, you're absolutely right. That's why I said early in the first segment, Nebraska's decision to get in press coverage, or at least offer it, right? Will make Rattler a little more less steady. Show press coverage. But defensive backs, the greatest fear that they have is being taken to the house. That's why Oklahoma receivers are taught this way, and most great receivers are. Sell the vert. Sell the vert. Sell the vertical route. Make the defensive back fear that you are going to run by him, catch a pass, end zone dance while he's on the bad end of a video. Sell the vert. And great receivers sell the vert no matter what the route is. Why? Because if I get you afraid of me going 60, you're going to give me 6. You're going to give me 6 yards. And that's what Nebraska's done. That's if they do that Saturday, look, what you're hoping for is that they bounce back and forth with that they show some man coverage and then they get into zone, depending on down and distance. But the biggest fear for any defensive back is a guy running by him and being taken to the house. We'll toward the break, come back. I'll get more questions. Appreciate you guys. Love you. Love what you've done one-on-one. We'll be right back.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Gaina Trucking, you can make a better income, a better career, and a better life. Gaina Trucking and Excavating is now hiring Class A and B CDL drivers. Careers include amazing benefits with a 401k, healthcare, paid vacations, annual raises, and so much more. 40-hour work weeks guaranteed year-round. To be a part of this amazing career opportunity, apply online at GainaTrucking.com. Don't miss our team culture, benefits, and a career that will give you a better life. Be better at Gaina Trucking and Excavating.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Everyone loves a good deal, and there's plenty of great options right now at Brown Shoe Fit for their summer clearance sale. Check out their multiple sizes and widths and sandals with brands like Clark's, Keen, Aetrex, and many more. Hurry in for the best selection because this sale only goes to the end of the month. It's the summer clearance sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
We're gonna eat pizza from Casey's and watch the football games. Yeah, enjoy the season with delicious Casey's pizza. 2 tasty pizzas for big game days.
Now at Casey's, you can get 2 large single-topping pizzas with delicious made-from-scratch dough for $9.99 each with promo code DOUBLE.
Casey's here for good. Yeah.
Tailgating wasn't just meant for weekends. Join 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday at Chick-fil-A for Tailgate Tuesdays. Scan your app with any purchase on Tuesdays and you'll be entered to win a tailgate meal for 15 people. That's chicken nuggets, fresh fruit, and iced tea or lemonade. Winners will be contacted each Wednesday, and you can come see Tom and Bach from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the 48th and O location or at South Point each week. It's Tailgate Tuesdays all season long at Chick-fil-A in Lincoln.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. Right now, they have tons of Oktoberfest beers, and you can check out their new Empyrean, New Belgium, and Prost selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage shop at 1801 Oak Street.
Last year, the average starting pay for an SCC truck driver training program graduate was $44,720. Southeast Community College can now make that a reality in only 8 weeks with its professional truck driver training class starting in October. SCC's fleet of 12 trucks and professional instructors will prepare you for a new career. You'll end the course with your Class A CDL. Learn more about SCC's professional truck driver training class at southeast.edu/truckdriver. SCC, your path to possible.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A very summer-like day on the way. We'll see hot, windy conditions. South winds could gust over 25. We'll reach up to a high of 90 this afternoon. Heading into tonight, a chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms late, a low down to 67. Continued chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow, much cooler, with a high of 74. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Again, appreciate you guys on the Starter Heyman text line for lighting it up. Jeremy asked a question I need to get to. And a lot of these questions I'm going to answer at the top of the hour. Jay Foreman will get here about 5:15. So I'll have some time at the top of the hour to get to some of these questions. And I appreciate you guys are on fire today. This was awesome. Jeremy asked the question, since it's Washington football night Is there a scenario where you can see yourself rooting for Dallas to win because it benefits Washington? Second question is Bellevue West versus Millard South. Is it on one of my screens tonight? Yes, I will watch Bellevue West and Millard South. It will be on my small screen, but it will be on. I will be paying attention. There's that. Here's the rule about Washington and Dallas. The times where it would have been beneficial for Washington to have Dallas win, they've never won. I cannot recall a moment in time where Washington would benefit from Dallas winning and Dallas actually winning the game. That's how the Giants and Eagles have won NFC East titles, is because at the end of the season, we needed for Dallas to beat some teams and they didn't do it. Again, more reason for me to dislike the evil empire. That's why who you are. You can't help it. You can't help it. Can't help it. DP, I'm going to save Dave Dipple. I'm going to save yours for 5 o'clock, top of the hour. I mean, for 4 o'clock. I'm going to save that you and I. There's a couple of those. Fake Mario Verduzco says getting beat on 5 10-yard passes is not the worst thing as long as we're tackling well. Keeps the clock rolling. One of the easiest ways to get my skin to crawl is to talk about time management. That is some submissive, I'm going to wait and see what you do to me kind of nonsense that I couldn't run out of the tunnel with. I was on a coaching staff from a coach who worked merely from that because we were less talented. So he figured I need to figure out a way for us to get beat less worse than otherwise. And I'm like, I can't coach with you. That sort of thinking doesn't work for me. That's just me. I appreciate it, but no. So sit tight. I'll get to the rest of your questions. Top of the hour on Old School.